Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about friction. Before I start, I want to ask you a few questions. Dear students, what happens when you kick a ball? Does it stop or keep rolling? Have you ever seen someone slipping on a banana peel? Ever wondered why does this happen? What happens when you try to hold something with oily hands? Why is it difficult to walk on a wet floor? Today we will discuss about these phenomena and will try to find out the reason behind this. Let us understand it by first example. A ball moving on the ground slows down gradually and stops after covering some distance. We know that a force is required to stop a moving ball. This means that a force is exerted by the ground on the moving ball which opposes its motion and brings it to a stop. This force which opposes the motion of a ball on the ground is called friction. The force which always opposes the motion of one object over another object in contact is called friction. It occurs between the two surfaces which are in contact with each other. For example, when we push a heavy box kept on floor, the force of friction occurs between the surface of floor and bottom of the box. And in the case of a ball rolling on ground, friction occurs between the surface of ground and the surface of ball. The force of friction always opposes the motion of one object over another object. So, the force of friction acts in a direction opposite to the direction in which an object moves. Now, let's understand what is the cause of friction. See, every object has a rough surface, though the surface may appear to be smooth to the naked eye. But when we see it through a microscope, it is found that the surfaces of all the objects have rough edges. Some of the particles on the surface of objects are in the form of tiny hills, while others form grooves. The tiny hills and grooves, or we can say it simply ups and downs, on the surfaces of objects are called irregularities of surfaces. When we try to move one object over another object, these irregularities present on the surfaces get entangled, or we can say it locked with one another. The interlocking of irregularities of the two surfaces opposes the motion of one object over the other and gives rise to force of friction. The friction between two surfaces depends on two factors: the nature of the two surfaces, that is smoothness or roughness of the two surfaces. Second, the force with which two surfaces are pressed together. Let us discuss them one by one. Number one, nature of two surfaces. Friction depends on the smoothness or roughness of the two surfaces which are in contact with each other. When the two surfaces in contact are smooth, then the friction between them will be small, because the interlocking of smooth surfaces is less. As the degree of roughness of the two surfaces in contact increases, the friction also increases. And when the two surfaces in contact are very rough, then the friction between them will be very large. We can measure it using a spring balance on both the types of surfaces, rough as well as smooth. Now the second factor on which friction depends is the force with which two surfaces are pressed together. Friction is caused by the interlocking of irregularities of the two surfaces when one object is placed over another object. If the two surfaces of objects are pressed together harder by a greater force, or if the object is having more weight, it will put more force, then the friction increases, because pressing together two surfaces of objects with a greater force or weight will increase the interlocking in the two surfaces. We can measure it also by using a spring balance. Thank you.